Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Cordell, otherwise known as DJ Belly. This is Only in the South, a show where you will only hear things like this, conversations like this, music like this, only in the South. And today is like kind of the same as normal, but like different, but then also the same at the exact same time. Very confusing, I know. But I'm doing this episode today solely about Miami Bass with my guest Julian from the Procrastination Radio. Do you want to like introduce yourself to the
Sure. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on the show, first of all. I'm Julian, and I host a show called Procrastination Radio, the Procrastination Radio Show. And I was super excited to come here to talk about a regional sound that I'm very proud of, that I feel like doesn't get as much credit as it's due. And yeah, thank you so much.
Real and like just have to say here that like even your work in Procrastination Radio I've like loved since being home, seeing all the stuff that you do, the work that you do. So like I have to give you your tens for that.
I appreciate it.
Always.
Thanks.
Always. So like when we were like thinking about the episode, the first thing that both of us thought of immediately was Miami Bass. For you, what was like the thing that made you want to dive into that for this?
I feel like, funnily, recently I've been in a headspace where I've been so interested in what Florida has to offer. I feel like there's been so much growth with the music scene and the creative scene in Florida recently. And I kept thinking about, how people talk about Atlanta or LA or New York, and they have these distinct sounds. And I feel like we don't talk enough about that. We have one of the most influential styles of music, and that it was born in Miami and in Broward and all these places that I feel like aren't as held in those conversations, So I think I just was excited to continue kind of the narrative of your show and highlight Floridians and Florida music and listen to some like good booty shaking music. It's amazing,
No, that's real.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I had the same kind of like thought process about it. It's honestly the same kind of reasoning why I did my episode last time. Because I wanted to highlight a lot of like dance and bounce music from the South that I feel like a lot of times kind of just gets swept into like one conversation, but regionally goes all over the place. But especially with Miami Bass, it's something that like is so heavily underrated and slept on, especially with regards to just like dance culture, hip hop culture in general. And I feel like bringing awareness to it, talking about like the artists who helped pioneer it, where it has existed and where it will continue to go. I feel like that's one of the most important things you can do when talking about music.
Yeah.
So like, where do you want to like dip a toe and start?
This first one is funnily like doing all the research, like again with Miami Bass being so specific, you don't think there's as much history to it. But this first song is one of the first official Miami Bass songs that was put together technically by them just putting the bass up on the record and that kind of being the thing that distinguished it. And very funnily, I feel like a lot of the early Miami Bass sounds a little interesting. I feel like it gets to where people know it better as it ages. But this is one of the first songs, one of the first appearances of Uncle Luke. He's uncredited on the song, but he came up with the idea, which kind of caused him to create Two Live Crew a little later. But this is Ghetto Jump.
We over where we going? AQ. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say that a lot of the Miami-based music is really simple because it's made specifically for you to dance, and I think hearing something so raw kind of go from this to even the next song, queued up Miami bass, is it's really funny to hear because it kind of feels playgroundy, sing-songy, but I think that's kind of like the magic of what it became.
Honestly, I would say this definitely gives me like the very roots of it. Parts of it was making me think I was listening to like a Wiggle soundtrack because it was real like funky and wonky with like a little bass beat underneath of it. So like I could definitely see where like the roots of this kind of dip into where Miami bass ends up going next after.
Yeah.
But we can definitely get into Miami bass next. Yeah, I got you. Because it was just moving in for the 2 minutes about the ghetto jump.
Very long song.
Yeah, love the ghetto jump though. It seems fun. It sounds fun.
It was cute,
Yeah.
And I feel like the next song is a song by Sonic, which is an amazing hip hop group. Funnily, they're from New York, and the song is basically kind of outlining literally them going to Miami and being like, oh, they're doing something very different, and we want to talk about it, and became one of the biggest Miami bass songs.
So we are going to get into the Miami bass. Even though we're to get into it, we're getting into it again.
My first taste of Miami bass came on my first tour, just like I was late. I was at the hotel, had nothing to do. Just on the radio, heard the July blues. Started dancing around, left it downtown. Brought up some more shit, but the shit was down. Then I looked at myself, New York United, the bass, but in Miami, they said they got the coolest bass, Miami bass.
I can't really explain what just happened with the track, but I get where you were talking about with Miami bass and kind of like how it's like the next step up, kind of evolving into what we know as modern Miami bass in a way. It's kind of like hard raps over like a real bouncy beat, just kind of driving a party forward in a way. Yeah.
It's interesting watching. There's an amazing documentary. I think there's a song on the list, the bass that ate Miami. It's like a 2-hour documentary about kind of the starting of Miami bass and people coming from New York and stealing records and getting into it. I think it is so interesting how this genre was built from like the physicality of people literally having gigantic speakers and seeing whose speakers were the loudest, and that's the reason why they turned it up and made it bass music. And how it's so like it kind of forces you to dance. There's no other feeling than listening to that sound and rattling the speakers, and just makes you want to move. But
Real. I feel like my main thing that I guess want to like ask or kind of like dig deeper into is that would you say that I guess Miami bass as a genre from this point on then evolves kind of more into where we get into booty bass, where it kind of like heavily leans into hip hop, or still has that like techno root at it?
Yeah, I think there was such a respect for the electronic kind of techno roots, especially when they're listening to music like the Africa Bambadas in New York, and kind of spreading that here. And again, because Florida is such a cultural hub, them having different music from all the different cultures and putting that together, and the drums changing and different things going like that, and then kind of the evolution into ghetto bass and Florida breaks and all the other subsections of Miami bass that came with the change from the sing-songy to like a little more, hey, what are we talking about on the like, oh, this might not be safe for people in schools, we gotta censor things, and but it made it more intriguing for people to go to the clubs and be like, oh, I'm going to listen to the DJ when they tell me to check my booty and get down and everything else. And so a very fast evolution into something that became very, very looked down upon from other states. Which is funny people just always trying to hate, but a very popular kind of thematic jump in the Miami bass music.
Yeah, especially with how it's like continued, and honestly I feel like even dipped into like Miami juke music as well. It kind of dipped into that subsection of music as well. So I feel like it kind of just has laced especially not only Miami music,
Yeah.
Atlanta based,
Yeah.
Houston Tech, like it's gone everywhere.
Yeah, and it's hard to follow the thread, but when you
Mhm.
kind of look at the details of it, it's like, oh yeah, this was the start of so much of why we have the 808 as prevalent in a lot of the music we listen to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see, where can we go now? I'm feeling boom.
I got the word for it. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that after. That's a funny one.
Definitely.
Fuck me. Fuck me.
Another version of the song, which is "Boom, I Got Your Girlfriend," and that song was a hit in Florida, but it wasn't as popular. This was kind of the turn of the music into more ghetto bass, like you said, and all of the Miami-based people realized, like, oh, we need women on this music. Like, it can't just be like we need a different sound, and that was one of the biggest hits. It far surpassed the original version and became like a staple in kind of women becoming the MCs that were leading a lot of the sound down here. So it's points of again a turn in the language of of things going from kind of like ha 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 to like, oh no, I fucked your man. Like this is how we're moving.
It's especially like a hard cut from like, oh, let's do the ghetto job to I
yeah.
took your nigga.
Yeah, it's
he's
like,
gone.
There's nothing there for you anymore.
Very that.
Yeah, it's
very laying the root of like a Jackie O, a Trina, Felicia, you know, all of them.
Yeah.
That's like the lineage.
Yeah, no,
it's like a grandmother.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. If we're talking about
yeah.
it.
Like maybe on. I don't
Set
know.
the stage for everything, for real.
One of them. Yeah. But next up, we're gonna get into this.
Mm-hmm. Another amazing group of women MCs. Kind of, again, just this project was so crazy because it kind of, you can hear there's more production going on in the bass and more movement in the music, and the way they attack the song is amazing.
I got a better life, fuck the world. So who is this you want? Oh, silly girl.
Yeah, no, it's a different sound. I think funnily, getting into maybe like the Baye funk of it all with like the Glamorosa on there. I think there is such a sound in the clubs now with the fusion of the Brazilian music, and Miami bass is a parent of the Baye funk. You know, functionally, as a lot of the DJs who were coming up with that style of music were taking the records from Miami and literally just being like, we're gonna rap in Portuguese and we're gonna change this up and we're gonna add a little bit of the cultural sound to it. But functionally, it is like a subgenre of Miami bass and an extension of that. And I think there's such a cool distinction outside of just the language change that feels so good. But it's like, even to that point, like we'll hear a lot of Baye funk in clubs now, and still there's not the Miami bass everywhere in the same way. But I feel like that would be a really cool kind of coming back home of hearing that music that's geared towards, you know, Floridians. You know?
Honestly, a good merging of that would be great.
Yeah.
Because it is true, they do play a lot of like Baye funk in the club. Yeah. And then if you do get like Miami bass, you might get like a Miami bass edit, but you might not hear like specific things from Miami bass artists, which is its own separate thing that, you know, should be acknowledged and should be done more. You know, but it also speaks just to the far range of Miami bass and its influence. Yeah. But I think we can get into that Glamorosa real quick.
Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Se quiser falar de amor, fale como assim. Vou te lambuzar, te encher de carinho. Em matéria de amor, todos me conhecem bem. Vou fazer tu vibrar no meu estilo, vai e vem. Já capitador, já vou te dar beijo na boca. Beijar teu corpo inteiro, te deixar muito louca. Vem dançar, empine seu popozão. Remexe gostoso e vai descendo até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Tia moreninha, não sai moreninha, me deixa doidinho quando dança felizzinha. O funk do meu Rio se espalhou pelo Brasil, até quem não gostava quando viu não existiu. Mulheres saradas, linda bem no bandis, corpo de sereia, olha bem esse bandis. Se tu não curte o funk, pode gritar de bobeira. Bote uma brecha, pede se chute a maçã. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. Glamorosa, rainha do funk, poderosa. Olhar de diamante, nos envolve, nos fascina. Agita o salão, balança gostoso, requebrando até o chão. You won't be lonely, so it's off to that club I go. Scream my name till I'm off in the mouth. So don't be a long girlfriend. When you see me at the company, with that sign on the door, no bother. Cause I got me the sex partner. Have to straight up good looking out. Make you see on the street, girl, I stop. Come on. Later, but right now, girl, you're mine. You're my kryptonite, and I ain't lying. I don't know just what it is, but you got me all in tears. Just by your body, I'm invite you, girl, to all that party. No kiss, just bring yourself. But one more break, come on, what's up? Y'all know how we do. True, but that game switch roots, so don't get mad, chick. Cause we already switched, and there's no doubt. And if I see your strip, then I'll stop.
I had to include some 69 boys in there. I saw the transition I had to take.
It was in the brain. It was
Very that. My brain started tingling. I said,
so I
ooh.
moved this. I was like, hold on, I'm gonna just trust it. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. And it was amazing.
I'm dead. But even with Glamorosa before,
Yeah.
I'm just like seeing and hearing the kind of similarities between Spy Funk and then even going into show. It's really similar. So it's like it works in the same way.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing. To me.
And like honestly, I realized as I was looking up a lot of stuff about Miami Bass, it's a lot of groups.
Yeah.
Like it's not too many like solo artists per se.
Yeah.
Like it's very grouped out.
Yeah. Which I feel like is such a representation of that time because of again the lack of technology. Like you needed 5 or 6 people to bring the records and bring the DJ equipment and do all this stuff. So of course they're already on stage. You might as well give them an outfit, let them MC or something, you know. But yeah, a very like community-driven thing where everybody has a hand in it in some way and just enhances the energy of like the party. And
Yeah. Especially with the Florida Bass artists, a lot of them are kind of like intermingled in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's like 69 Boys, 95 South, both coming from Jacksonville. You got Uncle and the 2 Live crew down here. You got DJ Laz. It's just all
Yeah.
wings.
And it's so funny with DJ Laz specifically. Like he has so much music, but like I feel like since we're so many, like we're under them a few ages. Like I see him as radio DJs. Like I don't see him as a pioneer of the bridge between like English and Spanish speaking Miami Bass. Like it's crazy that they're still around and they're still active, you know. And it's cool. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, which I always found interesting because it was like I think Esa Morena was like the main thing I knew about DJ Laz.
Yeah.
And then like a part of me didn't connect it with Miami Bass until I like started listening to other stuff and I was like, oh, so this is just Miami Bass. It's not different.
This is the same thing.
This is all in the family, just different name, different artists, different language, but it's
the same thing.
Yeah. But speaking of DJ Laz, or another group, you know, we could go through it. Because I mean, in my head, I think I might jump ahead to like the group of groups.
Yeah. The iconic.
I have to. Like you have to. We talk about Miami Bass.
We can't not choose to lie.
You know. Got to.
What do we get for $10? What do we get for $10? What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything.
A cute little Uncle Al, you know, mandatory as well. Yeah. The book's supposed to give Uncle Al's dance.
Yeah.
Not really. I really did go to Luke, which is like always understandable.
Yeah.
But I feel like Uncle Al has stuff in his arsenal.
Yeah. There's like a lot of people I think get kind of buried under the magnitude of what Two Live Crew was. I think because their songs were so genre defining with the whole parental advisory stuff and the lawsuit, which is, you know, the reason we have that sticker on all the hip hop stuff, you know, of Florida history, if you don't know. But yeah, they just were so massive, and then their songs were so intense to listen to that, you know, it kind of became an idea of what the genre was.
Yeah.
You know, it's a part of it. It's an essential part of it. You know, of getting it so popularized. But there's so much more to it. You know, there's so many more legends and people who are doing their thing and are still having those parties and going around, still making music. But yeah, it's everybody needs some good shout outs.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like even within this playlist, for as many people that we put that aren't on, I'm glad that we kind of like went the whole gambit and looked at people who weren't necessarily like always in the forefront of the conversation.
Yeah.
And it's even funny because I feel like there are a lot of artists that have been able to be commercially successful with Miami-based songs,
Yes.
but just necessarily don't get the credit either due to how it's just been continuously sampled into other songs, or like interpolated into something else that became more popular,
Right.
and then left the older song kind of just where it was.
Yeah, I think that's a great transition. I think Love You Down on here. About how Atlanta took a lot of the Miami-based sound and infused R&B and the more melodic shit. Because I feel like the Miami-based sound is very hip-hop heavy.
Yeah.
Because it was made for dance dancing, for b-boys, break dancers, people who needed to hear the instructions to do the thing, you know. And then I think Atlanta very skillfully was like, okay, let's, you know, put some more. Florida was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I think on a different side of it with a lot of their artists, but I think Miami kind of really, Atlanta brought in a lot of that R&B feel and just some of the most iconic bass music has come out of that Atlanta kind of section of it.
Honestly, especially majority of it being from like the So Def mixtape.
Yes.
I'm not gonna really give a shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. Wonderful. Love ya. But a lot of the music that were coming out of those mixtapes, like Love You Down, like My Boo, like Freak It, I guess to me have like become staples of what bass music has been, and I guess kind of pillars of what it continues to be. Even though I feel like definitely a lot of the elements were taken from Miami bass music, just in essence in general. But you can't not talk about bass music without mentioning those songs because they are super iconic, super danceable, and just bops. Like you can't not. You can't not.
That's crazy. That's a couple projects. Like they just did them
Like back to back.
Yeah. And they said, "This is us. This is a new."
So I don't know why we didn't have a jump on it. We could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still time. We
I
got
mean,
to
Miami DJs, Miami artists. Y'all. It's y'all. It's y'all job.
both cameras.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
It's right there.
What's this? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. But we gonna get right into Love You Down by Indulge.
All I really
you all around me, I'm glad y'all found me, 'cause I've been in a way with all this pussy in my face. Started with sweat, you wanna work out, let's lift your backpack, and let me see you do that in a hat trick. Cause these niggas be living that shit. Get it, don't stop, run, get it, don't stop, yeah, get it. Shake that shit, don't stop, bro, get it. And it feels so right, it can't be wrong. I can watch her do this all night long. She's a fine girl, but the other girl all thinks she's a freak. Gotta make that money, honey. Can't be living on the street. From the front to the back, from the front to the back. I didn't know she could dance like that. Ooh, she's so nasty, and I just might do anything she asks me. 'Cause she's for real, and she got my nature hard still. But it ain't nothing but a second good thing. I see booty coming out of the spring. Let me see you in the birthday suit. Baby, got a hand to get in the soul. Let's go. Let me see the list of things right now. When I'm in the club, I'm in the front bar like the tip out. Niggas in the club sitting all alone. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home.
Related, somewhat, kind of, you know, like, call him like the older brother that sees what the younger person is doing and then just like tries to like snatch it. First target music things, not everything. Love y'all down. Love y'all down. But, you know, but I feel like even hearing that kind of makes me think about like Miami Bass now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times, if it's not like in-house produced like an actual song, it's a lot of like edits, taking an older song, kind of putting it over a newer instrumental, and like basing it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's. I think that's such a cool evolution. I think it has, like you said, been able to kind of move certain music that's already Florida-based or Florida loved and turn it into something that might be unknowingly, you know, a celebration of more Florida stuff, you know. So When Wants You Smile is one of the best songs in the bass genre. Just
Girl.
That man screaming on that song. What?
It works. It works.
Like, why are you screaming? But I love it. But why are you like?
He's trying to channel Bad Luck Below. You gotta honor the sample.
I understand it. You know, it's like it's real. You know.
It's real emotion. I get it. I hear it over like the pounding 808s that are just going fully on.
Yeah, it works.
But it works though. But I was gonna say, do you want to like dip into where the samples have gone, or just kind of?
Yeah. No, I saw some newer stuff on here, and you have a cool way to round it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to give a full picture, but include like the new things. So I think where I'm gonna go with this is I'm going to start with Booty Drop. If I remember correctly, this is the 69. I think so. So we're gonna start here.
Come on, I'm speaking up. All the big booty girls in the club. What's up with the sex talk? Get up on it. Man, that booty drop, you can go this crazy. Got the word, man. I ain't gonna get away. Eat my roll. Hands out the clock. Make that booty. So make that booty. Let's get some work. 'Cause I feel it down here. It fell for what the high you. But it can't get done. I'm down here. Y'all go. So make these ends. Get that booty. So we gonna win. Let's get you no fun. Just talk. And make that booty rock. Come on, just make that booty rock. Sometimes don't just make that booty rock. Come on, hey, just make that booty rock.
It's time to circulate. I'm shaking my mama game. I'm shaking my money maker. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. Shady, I'm fly with it. C-I-T-Y with it. Right cheek, left cheek with it. Fun size on fleet with it. Slim, thick, petite with it. She wet with a key missing. One time for free bitches. After hour, no sleep bitches. When I get my freak on, they throwing money like me. When I do my sins, money fight these niggas for bills. JT, I ain't playing. Little bitch, I won't show me. When she so okay, that's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. I'm shaking the mama game. I'm shaking the mama game. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. It's time to circulate. Thick legs in shape, rump shaking both ways, make you do a double take. Flat like a showstopper, flow hopper, head knocker, beat follower, tails rocker, do my thing, mama. Like Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always be with rag top, chrome pipes, little nights, got a so weird, so weird, make that money go weird, put me bustin' down here, everybody here. Mr. Mina said, thing on acapella. Don't make you lose control and let it go, for you know you gon' hit the flow. Rock to the beat, rock to the clubs. Get it crunk and wired, wave your hands scream louder. If you smoke the fire, bring it down and holler. If you tipsy stand up, DJ turn it louder. If somebody by listen, that throw it in your face like, hypnotic, robotic, this shit will rock your body. If somebody by listen, that throw it in your face like, systematic, static, this shit be automatic. Everybody here, Mr. Mina said, everybody here get it out of control. Mr. Mina said,
Music makes you lose control.
Train.
Only in the South, the bass, with Julian of Procrastination Radio. Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at Procrastination Radio everywhere, or Julian Asterisk with an E, on almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. You can find me on Instagram at CRDLLL or at DJ Deli. The spelling is weird. DELLYY. Happy to have another episode. Happy to be here at Masisi. Happy to continuing to talk about music in the South. And yeah, that's it. Woo!